Hi, and welcome to this BassLabs fishing Freview. Today we're checking out the CrawdadZ with a Z by Z-Man. This is built out of their Elastec material, super stretchy, pretty cool. Actually, I have always wanted to be a fan of Z-Man and this Elastec type material, but it never comes out to a product that I actually end up liking. I guess by nature I'm very weed guard or skin hook Texas rig type of guy because I always fish in real weedy covers, and these are not designed for that. If you try to skin rig this, often it won't tear out or it'll stick in it. It just doesn't work the same way. So in a lot of ways, this durability is a two-edged blade, and it can hurt how effective the bait can be. But I decided I would get this one just because it looks so darn good. And one thing I liked is there's a weed slot on top, which I think will help a lot with keeping the hook hidden while at the same time giving it a chance to hook a fish. But still, you can see if it's in there and it gets sideways or something, it could still be tough to get through, but overall it's a pretty small lure, so I think it shouldn't be a problem. One of the best things about this material is that it's naturally buoyant here. It just floats up, and if you have a really light wire hook, this can actually float it, and if it's on a little Texas rig, it can actually sit up like a shaky head or something like that, which I think is phenomenal, especially with this type of bait. This type of lure where it sits up and you want those claws to be showing. This is obviously black chartreuse claws. It's a 4-inch. Let's see if it actually is 4 inches with the Z. All right. Okay. Whoa. Hey here. This is quite a bit shorter than 4 inches. This is actually less than 3.5 inches. So this seems like a scam. Let's check out one more. By the way, they come 6 to a pack. Let's check out this one. Looks like the same size. And again, deception. Okay, well, so a note. If you're going to throw these, know you're throwing a 3.5-inch lure and not a 4 as advertised. I don't like that. The size itself isn't terrible. I mean, it's definitely a smaller lure, but catch fish, I wish. I mean, that's a huge variation, deviance from what it said on the packaging. Let's check out the weight. So it comes out to 5.5 grams, so a little less than a quarter ounce. Probably pretty hard to fly line. If you did, this thing would actually just float on top of the water like a top wire. I'd be curious actually how well that would work. But maybe you could with spinning lures. This is just a great trailer for jigs because it stands up, or like I was saying earlier, Texas rig. I bet a Carolina rig would be really great, again with a very small wire hook, or even like a nosed hook rig. Like I imagine if you put a little ball jig with a kind of shorter hook, this thing would, even though that jig and hook would sit, this thing would really float up. Which would be pretty cool. Was I happy with this purchase? Yeah, I think, even though, like I said, I'm not a huge fan of these Z-Man products, I think this one has a lot of potential and could be useful at times. Overall, I just think it looks kind of cool, and so there's that. Would I buy it again? Depending on what type of things I can kind of figure out to do with it, I think I could. It's definitely a possibility. I think it has a lot. It's just so small that even with the difficulty and the hook coming through and stuff like that, it's not going to be a problem with this one so much. So it has a lot of potential. All right. Would I recommend it? I would definitely recommend it if you're a fan of Z-Tex especially. Otherwise, if you're just wanting to step into the Z-Man world, I think this is a great one to jump into. One thing I forgot to notice is the back, unlike a traditional craw trail or craw worm, this has kind of a fatter conical tail, which actually is nice for having something to grip on for that hook. Okay, until next time, thanks for checking out this BassLabs fishing review. Come back and view our other videos. Thanks a lot. Have a good one, guys.